Don't even get me started, okay? I feel like you have to have a few more brain cells than me to fully comprehend it. This book is so beautifully done. Changed the trajectory of my life a little bit. We had $1 for every time I talk about this book. That's how you know it's getting serious. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. This is going to be such an exciting video. Today's video is going to be the second installment of giving you guys book recommendations based on tropes. I read a lot, okay? I have so many new books that I want to talk about with you guys. And as I was going through this and kind of planning out today's video, felt like a spark of, oh my god, I literally want to talk about all of these books. That is obviously what's going to happen in today's video. I'm so excited to get into it. So let's get right on into today's video. Okay, so the way that this works is basically I'm just going to read off a book trope, and then I have a stack of books to my side, which I'm going to cover it so you guys don't see it. But I have a stack of books that are picked out for each trope, and I'm going to give you guys like my favorite books that I read in that trope. So let's go ahead and do our first trope, which is childhood friends to lovers. I just recently read the most perfect book for this trope. Unfortunately, like I have to speak about it. I don't even think I read it in a vlog. I read it just for myself. The book I picked for childhood friends to lovers is Mistakes We Never Made by Hannah Brown. I truly adored this book. This is a childhood friends to lovers, but I don't even know if they really like grew up together. I'm still gonna put it under this category, but a lot of their life was spent with them kind of being in each other's orbit. I believe they became friends in high school because they both were part of a debate team, and then certain events happened in both of our characters' lives where they kind of started drifting apart, but they still had this one mutual friend. Basically, it takes place at this one mutual friend's wedding where this mutual friend decides to flee her wedding. Our two main characters are like, wait, like that's our best friend right there. We don't know why she left her wedding and why she's running away, so they decide to go literally on a manhunt and chase her down and try to find her and figure out what the issue is. Really, really cute because obviously our two main characters, it's kind of like an enemies to lovers sort of situation happening. They haven't talked in many years, and I really, really loved this book. I thought that the scenery of this book was just so perfect and beautiful. I genuinely love our two main characters so much. I guess our main character, Emma, she is a control freak is the only way to put that, where she needs to make sure that everyone's okay all the time, and she's kind of like the mom of her group. Throughout this book, she kind of realizes like she needs to let people make their own decisions, and like she needs to let go a little bit. And then Finn, don't even talk to me about Finn, because his character development and his growth throughout the book, very interesting to read about. I think I ended up giving this book like a 4 stars or something like that. I don't really remember. I'll put the rating on the screen, of course. I did really enjoy this book, and it is the cutest little like childhood friends to lovers moment. It's adorable. Okay, everyone, our next trope that we have is actually one of my favorite tropes of all time. It is found family trope. I just appreciate a found family trope so much. There's something to be said about friendship dynamics in general, but I love the way that it's portrayed in books. I actually have 2 books that I put under the found family trope because I just feel like these fit so well, and I could not choose. I could not make my mind up. So our first book I put on the found family trope, Beautiful World, Where Are You? This book, I actually gave this book 5 stars. I love Sally Rooney, and I know that a lot of people don't. I don't care what you have to say. Actually, zip it forever. I do not care. Her writing is so special to me because she deep dives so many different topics, but especially when it comes to friendship dynamics in books and any sort of relationship dynamic, I feel like she just does it so well and with so much grace. And the characters that she creates are so flawed but so beautiful at the same time. It just feels so raw and realistic to me. I don't know how else to describe it other than that. This book follows 4 friends, 2 guys, 2 girls. One thing that I have to say it because I need to talk about this, unfortunately. I truly think there has to be something said about our friendship dynamic between the 2 girls in this book. They send each other emails every so often, and the way their emails is like a mix of drama, a mix of like jokes and sarcasm, but also a mix of like existential like dread and like I don't even know how to explain it. Like the way these girls send these emails to each other and are just like questioning life in general just really makes you think. The way this works is we'll have like 1 chapter of actual things happening in the book and like plot points, and then the next chapter will be one of the girls emailing the other girl. Like for this one, for example, this is from Eileen to Alice. Alice is going to Rome for work, and oh my gosh, that's so cool. And she goes on to talk about, oh, I make about 20K a year. I think that your life is a privilege and you should view it I don't know, like literally goes into talking about politics. It says everyone is understandably attached to particular identity categories, but at the same time largely unwilling to articulate what these categories consist of, how they came about, and what purposes they serve. The framework of this book is so beautifully done, and the found family in this is so beautiful because Eileen and Alice, they turn out to be like sisters. I don't know, I just think that this book like changed the trajectory of my life, I'm being completely honest. Anyways, our next book in this category, I promise I will try to be quick about this one. I have talked about this far too many times on my channel. It's A Little Life. I talk about this book so much it gets kind of annoying. Like even me editing this video is gonna get annoyed. How many times can Bryn talk about the same book? Hey, if we had $1 for every time I talk about this book, we'd be rich. Quick little rundown of A Little Life is it also follows 4 friends, but this time these are 4 college friends. They live in New York City. Kind of a similar thing to the last book where you're just watching these characters' lives play out. You're getting all of their different perspectives. You're watching how their relationships between each other and between other people kind of weave and mold and change throughout the years. Like you're just watching them honestly grow up, and you're watching them go through traumas and heartbreak, but you're also watching like happy things happen to them. But I will say there's not a lot of happy things that happen in this book. A lot of it is just trauma and pain and agony. I just feel like if you're gonna have a book where the main trope is found family, you need the characters to be very broken. Like you need the characters to rely on the other people. You need the characters to also do the other ones wrong at certain points because they're human. That happens. I feel like a lot of books miss the mark on that, where if you have a found family trope, the author immediately thinks like, oh, that means that these people have to be like this the whole time and they can't argue and they can't, you know, go through different changes. Or it's like, no, that's not how the world works. That's not how real life works. That's all I have to say about A Little Life. I promised it would go quick. The next trope we have is right person, wrong time. Now guys, I'll be honest, I don't read a lot of books that have this trope just because it really makes me mad. Nothing enrages me more than this trope, and I'll be completely honest here, because for some reason I don't believe in it. For some reason I'm like, hey, if it's the right person, you would make the time right. I always have this idea that the universe or God or whatever you believe in up there is like doing things specifically for a reason, and if this is your right person, it would be the right time. Anyways, I do have a really good book for this trope, and that is Home Again by Kristen Hanna. If you have not read a Kristen Hanna book, what are you doing with your life? Your life is not going to be complete until you read a Kristen Hanna book. I truly loved this book so much. Just Kristen Hanna's writing is so beautiful. Guys, I have to show you. Look at how many things I kept underlining throughout literally this entire book. Like truly look at all that. And I normally don't mark up my books. It takes a very specific book to make me want to like mark in it. Following Madeline, Lena, and Angel. Now Madeline is the mother, Lena is the daughter, Angel is the dad. Madeline and Angel aren't together anymore. Angel has not been part of Lena's life really at all. Then basically to sum it up, Angel has not been living his life correctly. He ends up needing heart surgery, and basically he's gonna die if he doesn't get this surgery. Now Madeline, she is basically his surgeon, his doctor, and all of this kind of catapults them into having to kind of like live lives on the same path again. It's so painful. It's so painful. The amount of hurt in this book, the amount of pain and agony that this book has is actually diabolical. I don't know what kind of mental state Kristen Hanna was in while she was writing this book, but I promise you it was not good. The next trope we have is the time travel trope. I, for some reason, like every time I go into a book that has the time travel trope, I'm always like, oh, this is gonna be so crap. Like, I don't even understand it. It's gonna be so stupid to read about. Why do I eat it up every time? Without fail, I will always love a time travel book, and for some reason, it's like making me believe in time travel. Anyways, the book I put under the time travel trope, of course, is The Ministry of Time. Anyways, this book is so interesting, and I feel like I never get the chance to talk about it because it's so like specific. I don't know how else to explain it. Like it's hard to just put this in any old video because it like just takes a second for me to explain it, and also such a niche book, I feel like. Anyways, let me break down the plot of this book. You were following our one main character. She works for a time travel company. Now what this time travel company does, it's already gonna get confusing, I'm so sorry. What this time travel company does is they take people from the past, like people who took part in like big historical events, bringing them into modern world and trying to like teach them how to live in the modern world. I don't fully understand what the point of it was. Honestly though, this book, I feel like you have to have a few more brain cells than me to fully comprehend it, because at certain points throughout the book I was like, I need to reread this chapter because I don't understand anything that's happening right now. The way that the writing was at the end of this book changed my life. It is this serious. I do need to go on my Goodreads. It's a pretty long one, but I have to read it. It says, "This is how you change history. As far as you know, or as far as the you that is me knows, the time door is broken. You may never receive this document which tells you what you will become if you follow this version of yourself. But if this falls into your hands, then I want you to know how it happens, step by step, so that you can change it. I exist at the beginning and end of this account, which is a kind of time travel, but I hope you'll find a way to contain. I know how much you've longed for your future to lean down and cup your face to whisper, don't worry, it gets better. The truth is, it won't get better if you keep making the same mistakes. It can get better, but you must allow yourself to imagine a world in which you are better. I don't mean to sound pessimistic, I only do because I can see how wrong my choices were. Don't do it like this. Don't enter believing yourself a node in a grand undertaking, that your past and your trauma will define your future, that individuals don't matter. The most radical thing I ever did was love him, and I wasn't even the first person in this story to do that. But you can get it right if you try. You will have hope, and you have been forgiven." Also, guys, if you don't understand how much I love this book, I have literally 2 copies. I have another one sitting right there if you haven't noticed. The more and more I think about this book, the more and more I love it. Okay, everyone, the next trope we have is actually one that I've fallen in love with this year. I hated it last year, I'll be completely honest. And this trope is none other than magical realism. The book I decided to pick for the magical realism trope is The Midnight Library. I can't shut up about this book. I need someone to sew my lips shut. Guys, the way this book tugged at every single heartstring ever in my body, it needs to be studied. I urge you to go into this book without knowing, but I also know that you can't because there's a lot of disclaimers that need to be had. It's not for the faint of heart. Basically, in this book, you are following our main character named Nora. In the beginning of this book, it starts out with her trying to kill herself. Basically, instead of going to the afterlife, Nora ends up in the Midnight Library. People who run the Midnight Library will pick specific people in the world who have passed away. And it's like, wait, you didn't live life to its fullest potential. So we're gonna pick you and we're gonna give you options of different lives that you can live. Everything about this book is beautiful and magical, and the end quotes were like such tearjerkers for sure. A little bit of what like Nora wrote at the end. Just gonna change your life, and I have to. Unfortunately, I literally have to. It's easy to mourn the lives we aren't living. Easy to wish we'd developed other talents, said yes to different offers. Easy to wish we'd worked harder, loved better, handled our finances more astutely, been more popular, stayed in the band, gone to Australia, said yes to the coffee, or done more bloody yoga. It takes no effort to miss the friends we didn't make, and the work we didn't do, and the people we didn't marry, and the children we didn't have. It is not difficult to see yourself through the lens of other people and to wish you were all the different kaleidoscopic versions of you they wanted you to be. But it is not the lives we regret not living that are the real problem, it is the regret itself. It's the regret that makes us shrivel and wither and feel like our own and other people's worst enemy. Of course, we can't visit every place or meet every person or do every job, yet most of what we'd feel in any life is still available. We don't have to play every game to know what winning feels like. We don't have to hear every piece of music in the world to understand music. We don't have to have tried every variety of grape from every vineyard to know the pleasure of wine. Love and laughter and fear and pain are universal currencies. The doctor always told me my problem was situational and not clinical, and yet my situation hasn't changed. Neither really has my problem. My depression-prone brain remains. What changed was a chance to feel how every other situation could have been. I could tell you about it, but you would never believe me. All I can tell you is that there is only one thing that has changed, and yet that one thing was everything. I don't want to die anymore. I hit rock bottom and found something solid there. I have lived a lot in what feels to you like a single night. I have traveled 10,000 miles from the inconceivable to the feasible, from death to life. The impossible, I suppose, happens via living. My life be miraculously free from pain, despair, grief, heartbreak, hardship, loneliness, depression? No. But do I want to live? Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. Okay, everyone, with all that being said, my camera's overheating because I'm talking far too much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my socials, links in the description box down below, and I will see you tomorrow with a new video. Goodbye.